It's probably the most remarkable financial story in a generation. It is just unfolding, but it's being ignored. It's certainly being overlooked. I'm talking about the return to prosperity, the return to strong economic growth, 4% growth, or perhaps even more. We haven't seen that in years. Prosperity is more than just statistics. It's a feeling. It is an atmosphere. The money's flowing, opportunities opening up, record number of people leaving their jobs and going for something better. There's optimism in the air. If you're in your 20s or early 30s, this is something you've not seen before. All you've known is slow growth and social division. Suddenly, Trump's in the White House talking up America, the economy's booming, and incomes are rising. Look at this. 42% feel better off now than in the Obama years. Only 26% say they're worse off. That is an extraordinary reversal.
Lower tax rates, we've rolled back regulations, we've unleashed energy, we're moving to fix a broken world trading system. You can see big numbers on capital spending, business investment, productivity is going to come from that. Higher wages for ordinary working folks throughout the country. This is a good story. It's a solid story. My hunch is it's going to go on for quite a while. It's not just one quarter.
I am going to be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. Remember that.
So here's the deal. He can't escape the math. Now, you know, math can be kind of inconvenient if it doesn't add up the way you want it to. And economists, left, right, in the middle, all say the same thing. That Trump's policies would throw us into a recession.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
wrong.
Proved over and over again.
Wrong. And I am thrilled to announce that in the second quarter of this year, the United States economy grew at the amazing rate of 4.1%. We're on track to hit the highest annual average growth rate in over 13 years. And I will say this right now, and I'll say it strongly, as the trade deals come in one by one, we're going to go a lot higher than these numbers, and these are great numbers.
Many on the left, many in the media, many so-called experts and economists, they mocked him. They said it could not happen. They said a growth rate around 2% was the new normal in America. The haters, the left-wingers, the Democrats are all proven wrong. Today, the Commerce Department officially announced that the second quarter GDP grew at a whopping pace of 4.1%. That's more than double the average yearly growth under Obama. In fact, under President Obama, the yearly GDP growth never even made 3%. The first president in U.S. history not to have a year of 3% GDP growth. Now, this is just a key piece of an American economy that is now booming everywhere you turn.
Boom, boom, bing.
But you might think that because he has spent his life as a businessman, he'd be better prepared to handle the economy. Well, it turns out he's dangerous there, too.
Wrong.
Just like he shouldn't have his finger on the button, he shouldn't have his hands on our economy.
Hillary, is that you? It's Hillary.
I got They call him big tax cutter, 15% business rate, so that GDP going all the way up.
That's true.
All the way up. Get your share of the
president ever, Donald Trump.
Prosperity, I tell you where it is. I point the direction the country going in.
In the event Donald wins, I have no doubt in my mind the market tanks.
Wrong.
That is,
as I said, this is now the 12th record in a row. The last time we saw that, 30 years ago, January 20th of 1987. That is also a record for the S&P 500. The Trump.
I say this is a huge win for the president.
Big time win. And everything they predicted about Donald Trump has been wrong. They said he won't run. They said he couldn't win the primary. They said he couldn't win the election. They said he'd tank the economy. What I find most humorous about this is the very same people who said, oh, Donald Trump's going to wreck the economy, now say he has zero responsibility for the success of this economy. You can't have it both ways. Either he was going to be responsible for the wreckage or he's responsible for the prosperity, and it's because of his deregulatory agenda, his optimism, and his tax cuts that we're seeing record economic growth.
In 2008, Paul Krugman won the Nobel Prize in economics. Isn't it time he gets another? Remember what he said way back on Election Day? Quote, "It really does now look like President Donald J. Trump, and markets are plunging. When might we expect them to recover?" A first-pass answer is never.
It's the New York Times. They're always wrong.
Yeah.
Yet he still has a job, and everybody still listens to him. But that's why the media hires people like Krugman. Once you're right in the mainstream media, no one cares about your track record. They'd rather you be left and wrong than right and right. And they've been wrong about Trump from the jump. They said he wasn't going to win the primary. They said he was only in it to sell hats and to boost the apprentice ratings. Then they said he wasn't going to win the general. Then they said after he won the general, he was going to leave office and give it to Pence. So I don't know why we listen to these people anymore. They said he was going to cause World War III. They said we'd never see 3% GDP growth. They said he'd never defeat ISIS. They said everything, and it was wrong.
Yeah.
During each of the two previous administrations, we averaged just over 1.8% GDP growth. By contrast, we are now on track to hit an average GDP annual growth of over 3%, and it could be substantially over 3%. Each point, by the way, means approximately $3 trillion and 10 million jobs. Think of that. We're in the midst of the longest positive job growth streak in history. New unemployment claims have recently achieved their lowest level in almost half a century. More than 3.5 million Americans have been lifted off food stamps, something that you haven't seen in decades.
We saw the longest streak of job creation in American history by far, a streak that still continues, by the way. Thanks, Obama.
Is he right, in part at least?
Look, Obama walked around for 8 years and talked about how he rescued the economy, when in fact he gave us the worst economic recovery since 1949, the first president ever to preside over a recovery where we did not have a single year of 3% GDP growth. We had a 2% GDP recovery, and every 1% is 1 million jobs times the length of the recovery. So if Obama had done nothing, a rising tide lifts all boats. What Donald Trump has done is he's cut down the regulations, lowered taxes, and brought in a business-friendly environment. Obama was the most anti-business president I've ever seen.
I'm so embarrassed to say this because Hispanic, African American, Asian, best numbers in history. Women, unemployment only reached a 65-year low. I'm sorry. I'd like to apologize. I want to apologize to all the women in the audience.
Hip, hip, hooray, unemployment is down. What does that mean to me in my life?
These are the things that affect you and your family, and it's what the populist revolution is all about. So here's another couple of numbers that I haven't seen covered anywhere else. 5.4%. That's close to the lowest unemployment rate on record for workers without a high school diploma. Or how about this? 10% is the rise in weekly earnings in the first quarter of this year for Americans without a high school diploma. 0.5% is the rise in earnings for college graduates. That is clear evidence that the Trump economy is helping exactly the people the president promised to help, those left behind by decades of elitist policies.
I need a bigger paycheck. This isn't just about the unemployment rate. It's about wages rising in our country so that consumer confidence is restored.
Since he's been president, wages have been up close to 3%.
Okay. Right.
And that's a fact. So Also, consumer confidence, it is an 18-year high. So I don't know what Pelosi's talking about.
She's never run a business. She's been a politician forever. 542 companies, private businesses gave bonuses, pay raises, just new benefits based on the tax cuts. And all she's been able to say is, well, if we get the House, we're going to impeach and raise your taxes. I might be eating crazy sandwiches or something, but like, how would you vote for these people?
Yeah. The year before I came into office, private business investment grew at only 1.8%. Last year, it jumped to 6.3%. That was my first full year. We had to do a lot of things to get it to grow. And this year, it's growing at 9.4%. So that's a very tremendous increase. There hasn't been an increase like that in many, many years, decades. We've gotten rid of tremendous amounts of regulations, which allows us to do things. And we still have tremendous regulations on clean air, clean water, the environment. It's very important to me, very important to everybody. But we had unnecessary regulations that were hurting our economy and hurting our country.
And the fact is that if we look at the data today, that we can see the proof in the pudding, that the president's policies are working. And it's not just in the top line, but it's in the details. So the president said that if we deregulate the economy and have a tax reform, that there'll be a capital spending boom because the factories will come back to America. If you look at the data, then the factories are booming again. The president said that if we emphasize energy production here in the U.S., that we could become a dominant energy economy, even an energy exporter. Well, if you look at the data today, one of the reasons why the data are so strong is that drilling and mining activity skyrocketed in an almost unprecedented way. And finally, and this is the thing that at times, sir, you've kind of looked at me and smiled about whether I really agree with you. You said that you would bring the trade deficit down. And you have. The $50 billion reduction in the trade deficit proves that if you stand up for America's workers and let our allies know that deals that aren't reciprocal are unacceptable, then you can make a lot of progress. And so thank you very much for your leadership, sir, and for your faith in me.
Thank you. And our leaders said the only choice was economic surrender. They surrendered.
Some of those jobs of the past are just not going to come back. And when somebody says, like the person you just mentioned, who I'm not going to advertise for, that he's going to bring all these jobs back. Well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do? There's no answer to it. He just says, well, I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, how exactly are you going to negotiate that? What magic wand do you have? And usually the answer is he doesn't have an answer.
So easy. This is the time to straighten out the worst trade deals ever made by any country on earth ever in history. These deals were made by people, I don't know if they didn't understand or if they didn't care or if they didn't frankly love our country. But we have the worst trade deals ever made in history. But now they're becoming good again.
The only thing the American economy was missing these last 10 years was confidence. And nobody is as confident as Donald J. Trump.
Too many mistakes are being made by the politicians. Too many mistakes are being made by people that truly don't know what they're doing. We're going to turn it around. We're going to turn it around fast. We're going to become rich again. We're going to become great again. Nobody's going to tell us what to do. I'm working for you, and I'm working for you. I'm working for you folks. Why? You know why? Because we're going to do things that have never been done. We're going to straighten our country out. We're going to do it fast. It's going to be done properly. We're going to strengthen our military. We're going to knock the hell out of ISIS. We have to do it. We're going to win, win, win. We're going to win so much you're going to get sick and tired of it. You're going to say, Mr. President, we can't take it anymore. You're winning too much. Please, we don't want to win that much anymore. Please, Mr. President, we can't take it. And I'm going to say, I don't care. We're going to keep winning because we're going to make America great again. We're going to make it greater than ever before.
We gave him a chance to use his words. We had nothing to lose.
He said, what do you have to lose?
Every metric has improved. That's right.
You know,
and that's what the
Geraldo,
American people think. And, you know, every day he takes incoming. And every day I realize more than ever, this man is a force of nature. He can handle anything and keep fighting for us.
I knew this day would arrive. It's only a question of when. And I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. Our great civilization has come upon a moment of reckoning. I didn't need to do this, folks, believe me. I built a great company, and I had a wonderful life. I could have enjoyed the fruits and benefit of years of successful business deals and businesses for myself and my family, instead of going through this absolute horror show of lies, deceptions, malicious attacks. Who would have thought? I'm doing it because this country has given me so much, and I feel so strongly that it's my turn to give back to the country that I love. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again.
We can't take it anymore, Mr. Trump. Stop the winning. We are going to flatline. Please. And then today, with this CNN reporter getting told it's fake news, we lost a lot of good men to winning when he said that. We had some guys that were in intensive care, and as soon as you said, you're fake news, it went beep, beep, beep.
One more question from Ken Bone about energy policy. Ken?
Wrong.
The New York Times, they're always wrong. Well, I would say my wife tells me I'm wrong all the time. Wrong.
That is wrong.
And he did the wrong thing. Wrong.
That is absolutely
wrong.
true over and over again.
Wrong. Wrong. They were not hired. And here's why he does it this way. Let me explain why he does it. Jeb is so wrong. He said no. Wrong. Jeb is so wrong.
That is so wrong.
Wrong.